What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are lit. Turn. Change to motherfucking day. Show you outside. Big crip in the gang. Show you outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia, do your thing, and Texas, stand the fuck up. Each day is never be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position to belong. Let's stay humble. Let's get on revolution on the movement. Keep Yahweh first. Coming to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here. Alright. Boom. Change to motherfucking day. Show you outside. Big crip in the gang. Show you outside shit, man. Turn up. And then go gang. Bruh. Like I said, man. People gotta understand, man. These people gotta understand. They just not stop making bad bitches when they made one bad bitch. There's plenty of bad bitches out here in the world. That's a fact, though. So it's like ruin your whole career in your life over one bitch, especially a Caucasian bitch, is insane. But bitches in general, you know, you just can't trust these hoes. And that's just the bottom line of it. You know what I'm saying? They coming up with all types of shit. But in this thing, we're going to talk about this black female, which I feel like it's the same thing, a Ponzi scheme, but at the same time, it is what it is. Because Shannon Sharpe already showed that he don't really give a fuck about the black community as part as, you know what I'm saying, support. So, we got this female who was singing at Usher show. She's suing that nigga for another $20 million. And Shannon Sharpe already got sued already for the sexual assault. This is defamation. So we finna get into this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and let's go. Shout out to Panda Press. So Shannon Sharpe got hit with another lawsuit, and this one worth 20 M's. We've been talking about it, but we finna get into it.
You paid $25K to kiss cheeks, but told your own daughter she could only get $10K for her wedding.
Wow.
You out here settling grape lawsuits while disrespecting black women on podcasts, and folks still defending you? Shannon Sharpe don't need enemies. His worst op is his damn self. And now, another woman suing him for $20 million? Sit down. We need to talk. You ever watch somebody lose everything? Not because the system failed them, because they couldn't stop wilding. Like, bruh, Shannon Sharpe out here settling grape lawsuits for $20 million plus, but when his own daughter needed help for her wedding, he gave her a damn budget cap of $10K.
Wow.
Not $10K per dress, not $10K for the venue, $10K flat. Meanwhile, he dropping $25K a pop just to kiss some OnlyFans chicks' cheeks. You can't make this up. And now, he's fired from ESPN, sued again, and looking like the main character in his own downfall saga. And don't get it twisted. This ain't about cancel culture or war on men. This is about ego, poor judgment, and straight up clown decisions. Because it wasn't the first woman that ruined him. It wasn't the lawsuit. It was him. So now, another woman suing him for $20 million over a podcast episode, says he lied on her, dragged her name, and refused to fix it. You know what? Let's break this all down. Step
these hoes be
by
pretty
step,
on the outside, but
Shannon
nasty as fuck on the inside. Can't trust these hoes.
He kept running his mouth while he was falling. Alright, so boom. Shannon Sharpe got hit with a grape lawsuit. And instead of fighting it in court or letting the case get tossed like a bad ref call, my man reached for the checkbook and hit him with a settlement between $15 and $23 million. Double digit them dollars and make it all go away. Now, was he guilty, innocent? We don't know. But what we do know is up that kind of check to silence someone, the street's gonna start whispering.
That's a fact.
Wow. And bruh, let's not act like this came out of nowhere.
30 years to a white
Tony
bitch.
Busby. Same dude who caught an L in Jay-Z's situation. His credibility in the gutter. Dude was getting clowned so hard, folks forgot he was a lawyer and thought he was just an Instagram zookeeper posting pics with baby kangaroos.
Fuck, my shit
So
fucked
when
up
Busby came for Shannon, nobody really believed it at first. Man, here go another Busby special. But instead of letting the case run its course, what did Shannon do? He hired a lawyer so clueless, he probably thought Club Shay Shay was a day spa. And this dude, he came out talking wild, said Shannon was into race play, said he liked being treated like a broke slave in a bedroom.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Coon of the year.
Driving Miss Daisy Triple X edition, bro.
Coon of the decade,
That
bitch.
ain't a defense, that's a confession. Like, you supposed to make your client look clean, not
Nigga
kink
want to be
shamed
Kunta
into a
Kinte
court
so
who
bad,
lost.
bitch.
And worst of all, that same lawyer low-key admitted there was an encounter that would have looked like great if it wasn't consensual, huh? Who says that? Now the street's confused, the media buzzing, and the girl posting on Instagram like she just hit the lotto, talking about thank you to my fans, I'm retiring from OnlyFans.
You nasty ass horse.
Shannon retired you. He just gave her the kind of bag that'll pay
Dirty
for a
ass
house, a car,
whore.
a chef, and a therapist, and still leave room for a vacation. And let's not forget,
Whores, nigga.
this is the
Nasty.
same man who couldn't help his daughter with a wedding. Let's say you Shannon Sharpe.
It's
You
not
rich,
the stuff she do,
you
but it's the
famous,
shit she try to
you
play
just got hit
victim.
with a lawsuit
You know what
that
I'm
can
saying?
end your whole
Look.
legacy. What's the one thing you don't do? Hire a lawyer who talks more than you. And that's exactly what Shannon did. This man brought in a lawyer who might be great at politics, but this ain't no city council meeting, bruh. This is the entertainment world. Hollywood rules apply. And what does this lawyer do the second a mic gets in front of him? Snitch on his own client. Straight up tells the world, yeah, Shannon likes race play. He likes being treated like a broke slave.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
He likes driving Miss Daisy, but dirty. Bruh, are we in court or reading from Pornhub search history? How is that helping your client? That's not legal strategy. That's career suicide. Then he hits us with this. It wouldn't look like great if it wasn't consensual.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What? That's the kind of sentence you can't unhear. Like, even if it was consensual, you just made your client sound like a creep. And now the public's like, wait, what did he do?
Got these nasty
Then the
ass
photo
hoes
drops
time
of the
for
girl
OnlyFans is insane.
looking like she just got hit with a spiritual crisis. And everybody starts side-eyeing Shannon like, yo, what's really going on here? So now, instead of a messy case that might have been dismissed, we got a public relations nuke. And ESPN's watching, TMZ's eating, and Shannon's looking like the next contestant on How to Lose $20 Million and Your Reputation in One Weekend. But here's where it gets real. ESPN watched Shannon sell. Watched him hand over possibly $23 million to a girl who used to upload content to OnlyFans.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but you play victim and you
Then
try
they
to
looked around,
destroy a black man,
check the headlines,
you's a bitch.
check the Twitter storm, and say, yeah, nah, we
Nasty.
boom.
She on the
fired.
outside, but nasty and
No
disgusting on the
warning,
inside.
no farewell
That's tough.
tour, no thank you for your service.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Just a quiet little report dropped by The Athletic like, yeah, we're done with Shanana. Contract cut. That's it. Now here's what
That's why people don't give a fuck about us, nigga. Some shit happen, they cooking this to the side, bitch.
They ain't
And your
fired
own
him
people
during the
three.
media buzz.
Shit.
They waited till after the man paid millions, then pulled the plug. What'd that tell you? Either they knew the details were worse than what we heard, or they think more smoke is coming. Because ESPN don't just cut loose one of the most recognizable voices in sports unless they're trying to distance themselves fast
It's
before the
crazy.
next
Molly
bomb
done
drops.
left.
And now, Shannon ain't got no ESPN platform to clean up the mess. Only thing left is Club Shay Shay, his podcast. But let's be honest. You know he's on the phone begging Cat Williams to come back on, trying to do another viral moment. Christmas in July type episode just to keep the brand afloat. Because with this kind of stain on you, sponsors gonna dip. Collabs gonna freeze, opportunities gonna ghost.
You're wrong. You're poor.
It's like watching a Hall of Famer slowly get benched by his own bad decisions. So Shannon settles the lawsuit, 15 to 23 M's, poof, gone. And what's the first first thing this girl does after cashing the check, she posts on Instagram like she just won the Super Bowl. Thank you to all my fans. I'm retiring from OnlyFans. Retiring? Girl, you ain't Serena Williams. You just hit a financial lick on a dude who couldn't keep his kinks off the grid. Bruh, you turned a ring light and a fake accent into generational wealth. She clocked out of adult content with a mansion, a Chanel bag, and receipts. And Shannon still out here wearing $3,000 cardigans and no emotional accountability. He out here dropping $25,000 a session to kiss cheeks. $25,000 per cheek. Man, I hope the girl had gold glitter lotion and a degree in economics. So now the internet looking at this man like,
ain't nobody putting your 30
model, but couldn't invest in your own bloodline. That's why the streets say a fool and his money don't stay friends for long. But it's the part that don't sit right with me. Why now? Why did ESPN cut ties after the settlement? Not before, not during, not when the headlines first hit. Nah, they waited till he signed the check. Waited till that girl said thank you and bounced from OnlyFans.
You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
Then they dropped the hammer. That tells me one of two things. Either they saw something behind the scenes we didn't, or they think more bombs are about to drop. Because ESPN don't move without checking every angle. They got PR teams, legal teams, crisis managers, and still said, we good, Shannon. Handle your little podcast. Just don't bring our name into it. Now let me remind you, this ain't just about public image. The real reason this thing hit DEFCON 5, that girl said she had footage. Allegedly recorded the whole thing. Said it was so graphic and bad that when they played it during mediation, Shannon got up and walked out the room. Wouldn't even watch it. Didn't say a word. Just left. That ain't normal. You innocent? You sit there and say, run the tape. But if you know what's on it, you dip quick. Before criminal charges enter the chat. Maybe this man ain't stupid. Maybe he just dodged a Diddy trial. Because you know Diddy's sitting in court right now wondering where the escape hatch at. Shannon, he paid the toll and kept it pushing. But still, if ESPN saw that footage, or even just heard about it, it makes sense why they tossed him. No hesitation, no statement, just delete the contact. So now the big question is, was this just the beginning, or is there more we don't know? You don't fire a man that made you millions unless you think the storm's just getting started. Just when Shannon thought he could chill in silence, stack what's left of his money and rebuild, boom, another lawsuit. This time, $20 million for defamation over a damn Usher concert. Yup, a woman named Jamalita Tillman is suing Shannon and Chad Ochocinco too over something they said on their podcast. What was it? They clowned this lady for being in one of those viral Usher serenade moments, right?
Were you in the front row? You never met Usher? How did it happen?
Well, in this particular instance, there's this area where you sit, and it's funny because they say, Mr. Raymond's going to walk past here, do not move. He's going to be just walking through.
Okay.
He wasn't even supposed to stop where we were. It was like magnetic, and he smells like vacation.
Why did he pick you?
Well, it was
Why not? Why not?
One of the young ladies was telling him, I'm a retired homeschool mom, and that this should be her moment, not hers. And the lady was from the UK, and he said, well, come on over here because I just finished homeschooling my daughter, who finished all her studies last year.
Oh, yeah, she has a doctorate at 17.
At 17,
yeah.
yes, ma'am. And so he brought me closer, and I locked in. I brought out all the Broadway matches that I had, but it was easy. He has a magnetic personality, and I'm really excited about this opportunity because now the Harold Washington is getting a lot of play. People are following things that my daughter is doing it, but with that does come some ups and downs.
Oh, yeah.
So I first saw this on X. Somebody shared the video and said the description of the video was that, like, this woman, her husband divorced her because of her connection with Usher and everything else. So that's just completely not true.
That is
just
completely,
to get that out there, because a lot of people are seeing this video in that context.
Completely false. I am single. I am a retired homeschool mom looking to expand the arts here and across the pond. I am single. You got a cherry? Give me a jingle. Who knows? She's got cherry.
Wherever the road, you know the ones where he grabs a fan, sings nice and slow, gets all flirty on stage. Well, apparently, Shannon and Chad got on their mics and said, yo, her husband left her over that performance.
I saw that.
Stage.
I saw that.
Husband claimed she never kissed him in public and was shocked she would kiss a complete stranger in front of 20,000 people. Problem is, she ain't even married. Never was. So now she's coming for both of them and their podcast network saying, y'all lied on me. Millions saw it. You damaged my rep. You ignored all my requests to take it down. Now run me my 20 mil. And yo, on paper, she got a solid case. This ain't no internet troll or clout chaser. She's a real one. Director at a cultural center in Chicago. Homeschool her daughter. That daughter got her doctorate as a teenager. Bruh, we're not talking about some random influencer. We're talking about a professional woman with receipts, a legacy, and now a lawsuit.
This quote that they're reading from the husband is not a real quote because she doesn't have a husband. So she said that they took that right there, and it because this clip, right? She says that she has like a homeschool program. She's like top homeschooler in the country. She was on a Zoom. Some of the men from the people that she works with came on a Zoom and said they were upset at her because her story is that she's a single mom and she had to do a lot by herself, including homeschool her child, right? The men came on and said, well, why are you hiding your husband and emasculating him and not giving him credit for helping you raise your child? We heard Shannon Sharpe say blah, 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 blah about your husband because of the Usher concert, and that's how she even knew that it was happening. She reached out to them. She gave them ample time, according to Ms. Tillman, to remove things and to publicly apologize. She says that they pulled it down off of where you could view it on YouTube and other platforms, but not from Apple. As of yesterday, she claims that it was still on Apple. We went and checked today. It's not on Apple anymore, but she wanted to make it clear that this is not like a shakedown attempt or anything like that. She gave them time. She wanted things removed. Once communication kind of faded out and they weren't responding to her, she then filed the lawsuit. And they are in conversation for a settlement, but she says that she even plans to use this as an example when she goes and speaks to Congress not too long from now, because it's more about journalistic integrity and the fact that people can take anything and do anything.
Oh, she asked them to take it down.
They removed it. So they removed it from some platforms, but it wasn't removed. She said from Apple. She sent me a screenshot of it being still up on their Apple platform at one point. But as of today, we went and looked today, it's not there. But she is alleging that it was still there, and that's what made her say, you know what, I'm going to file the lawsuit because I've asked for these things to happen, and they haven't.
All right, so let's not act like this is some clout-hungry IG model trying to go viral. Jimmalita Tillman ain't new to the grind. She ain't a groupie. She not some random chick from a crowd. This woman is a global director at the Harold Washington Cultural Center in Chicago. A single mom who homeschooled her daughter so well, the girl ended up getting a doctorate before she could legally drink. Like, this ain't just some emotional lawsuit. She got a whole resume, a real career, and now a defamation lawsuit with legs. She said Shannon and Chad lied on her, claimed she was married when she wasn't, said her fake husband divorced her over an Usher moment, refused to correct it even after she publicly denied it multiple times, and kept reposting the clip like it was comedy hour. You see the pattern? She said she reached out multiple times, told them it was false, asked them to take it down. They ghosted her, left the content up, doubled down. Now she's saying the false narrative hurt her character, damaged her reputation, affected her personal and professional relationships, caused real emotional distress. And honestly, she got a point. Because the moment you step on a podcast with millions of followers and start throwing names out without facts, you might think you being funny, but now that's a $20 million punchline.
Prove the identity that it's her. We got that. She needs to prove the publication. She can do that. It went viral. But the negligence again. She needs to prove that the statement was made with reckless disregard for the truth or negligently. Did Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco make these statements recklessly? Did they disregard the truth? Well, I think they did, right? She's not married. She went on numerous TV shows apparently to try to prove that she wasn't married. She contacted them in numerous ways, according to her, to let them know that she was not married, and they disregarded all of her communications. This lady was pretty serious about trying to clear this up, but it all went to no avail. Now, I can tell you, we can kind of go a little bit deeper in the weeds about whether this lady is famous, whether she's a public figure or not. I'll just tell you pretty quickly that if you're a public figure, it's much harder to win these defamation cases because you're putting yourself out there in public. But the law says that if you're a private figure, then it's much easier to win on these claims. So even though she was pulled up on stage at this Usher event, and even though she went on news media to try to correct the narrative, the law is probably going to consider her a private figure, and that's going to make this a lot easier for her to win. So I think she's got the negligence factor too. The law is going to try to protect her a little bit because she's a private person, and you have Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco who have millions and millions of followers and subscribers on their platforms making content about this lady who is not putting herself out there to be ridiculed like this. The fourth element is falsity. She's going to need to prove that the statement that she was married during this time was false. She's going to need to prove that her husband is not filing divorce papers against her. She's going to need to prove that those statements are all false. That's going to be easy for her. She's going to be able to testify that she's not married, and then Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco are not going to be able to produce a marriage certificate showing that she was married at the time of the event. The last element is harm, all right? She's going to need to prove that the statement caused material or reputational injury. Now, again, this is going to kind of depend on whether she's considered a public figure or a private figure. Not to get too deep into it, but if she's considered a private figure, it's going to be easier for her to prove damages. We're going to continue to read the article, but what do you guys think right here? Has she shown identity, that the statement was about her? Has she shown that the statement was published? Has she shown that the statement was made in a reckless disregard for the truth? Has she shown that the statement was false? Can she show that? And can she show that the statement caused material or reputational harm?
And she's not even asking for clout. She's asking for accountability. Take it down. Apologize. Cut the check. And Shannon, once again, chose ego. Now he back in court again over something that didn't even need to happen. All he had to do was fact check and show some respect. Oh, let's get this straight. This ain't even about the Usher concert no more. It's about what happened after. Because when John Malita hit him up repeatedly, trying to set the record straight, they curved her. No apology, no takedown, not even a my bad. She said, yo, I'm not married. Y'all spreading lies. Please remove it. They basically said, no, run the views up. Like, bruh, all she wanted was a correction and some decency. But instead, Shannon and Chad treated it like content, like she was a meme.
I mean, she was.
Punchline.
She is.
And now, that little laugh costing them $20 million. And what makes it worse, this ain't the first time Shannon been called out for clowning black women. He got a whole track record of picking low-hanging fruit and turning it into locker room talk. But this time, he picked the wrong one. A woman with class, credentials, and a legal team. Like, bruh, how you got millions, a team, a platform, and you still act like a messy group chat with microphones? You settle in one lawsuit, and while the ink's still drying, you get slapped with another? That's not a bad week. That's a lifestyle.
For this last one, it's still a little up in the air. Let's see what the article says. This lady continues that the ongoing misinformation has resulted in emotional distress for the plaintiff, damaging her reputation and adversely affecting her personal and professional relationship. Now, guys, I know when we hear all emotional distress, we think, oh, forget it, it's all made up. But if this lady is a professional, I think she was a director at some center, and people are saying, hey, that's the lady that was up there with Usher. Did you know she's married? Did you know her husband is looking at filing a divorce? Her husband was so mad. How do you know her husband was mad? Well, that's what Club Shay Shay said. That's what Ocho Cinco said. She was up there dancing and looking deep into Usher's eyes. Can you believe this? I absolutely believe that there could have been a lot of whisperings behind her back from people who tangentially knew her but didn't know if she was married or not. This actually could have hurt her reputation, guys. The article continues that the woman is a Chicago native whose previously homeschooled daughter received her doctorate while still... what? Her daughter received a doctorate while still a teenager, and she taught her daughter. All right, this is a very important fact. Guys, this has nothing to do with the actual defamation case, but it shows you that this lady here is serious. Despite what we are seeing on the screen, this lady's about 3 inches from Usher's face. This lady homeschooled her daughter, and while her daughter was in high school, her daughter earned a doctorate degree. That lets you know that this daughter has some serious intellectual genes, and some of those surely belong to the mom, who again is some director of some center. The mom took it upon herself to homeschool the daughter, didn't let the daughter go to public or private school, brought the daughter up herself. What does that mean? To me, as an attorney, this means that this lady is not going away. Despite what we might think, this lady is not one of those, oh, my neck and my back type of plaintiffs. Shannon, Sharpe, and Ocho Cinco are dealing with a very serious person. This is not a game. Again, this has nothing to do with the actual defamation case, but I'll tell you as a little tip that attorneys were always sizing up the plaintiff. Is this person for real or not? Is this person educated or not? Is this person serious or not? Can we blow them off? Can we ignore them? This lady apparently is not to be ignored. She has the capability to really go hard on this case. All right, so the article continues that the U.S. Sun has reached out to Shannon Sharpe's attorneys for comment. In a conversation with the U.S. Sun, Tillman added, "We've been in communication with the legal team of Shay Shay Media, who was also representing Shannon Sharpe." All right, so now the woman is talking to Shannon Sharpe's legal team. The woman says that they're looking to resolve this matter quickly, and we will probably have more to share upon our next conversation. Guys, this sentence right here tells you all that you need to know. If this is true, this lady's saying that Shannon Sharpe's legal team is looking to resolve this matter quickly. Does that remind us of anything? Is that similar to another lawsuit that we heard about just a few months ago? I don't know if you guys remember, but when Shannon Sharpe was hit with this $50 million lawsuit.
At this point, you gotta ask, did somebody put roots on Shannon? Like, real talk. Voodoo doll, sage in reverse, some old Creole lady whispering be humble into a chicken bone. Cause this ain't just bad luck. This is back-to-back L's with interest. You settle a great case for M's. Then before the dust even settles, you get slapped with a defamation lawsuit, all while the streets drag your name, ESPN cuts the cord, and your OnlyFans side chick posting victory laps. Something's off. Even when this man was in the fire, getting cooked by lawsuits, headlines, court whispers, he still found time to clown a black woman. That's the part that stings. A lot of y'all defended him, said leave Shannon alone, acted like he was the victim. But what did he do with that grace? He doubled down on disrespect, and not toward the industry, not toward his accuser, toward a grown, educated black woman who ain't do nothing but dance at an Usher concert. You get what you give out. You clown women, you get clowned. You lie on someone's name, your name gets dragged. You stay quiet when it's time to apologize, life gonna get real loud. So yeah, maybe it ain't literal roots, but the karma, that's spiritual law, and it don't miss. Look, man, this ain't just about lawsuits. It's about legacy, character, and how fast it can all disappear when ego runs the show. Shannon Sharpe played 14 seasons in the NFL, built a media empire, became one of the most respected voices in sports, and in less than 12 months, he fumbled it all. Not because of one mistake, but because he refused to stop talking, refused to apologize, and refused to respect the very people who held him down when the world turned its back. You can't disrespect your daughter, clown black women, ignore facts, and think karma gonna skip your address. You may escape court once, maybe even twice, but if your heart ain't right, if your mouth still reckless, life gonna spin the block. So now I gotta ask y'all, do you think Shannon's done? Or is this just the beginning of a bigger downfall? Let me know in the comments.
Shout out to the lead attorney. That was what he was reacting to on his video, the lead attorney.
After loss. First, we all know that Shannon paid Gabriella Zuniga tens of millions of dollars to settle that lawsuit.
Nasty
so
horse.
Many people thought it was so crazy that he got extorted by this 19-year-old. You'll remember that she was the one texting Shannon that it would be $25,000 per cheek. She was texting Shannon saying, "Hey, what's taking so long? Where's the cash?" This is the girl sending Shannon text saying, "I want you to choke me, daddy," and then turned around and filed a $50 million lawsuit claiming that he was choking her. It was pure extortion, and it worked. Reports say that she got over $20 million from the lawsuit. Shannon's almost 60 years old, but this young 20-something is laughing all the way to the bank at his expense. It's interesting also that a lot of people were calling Shannon Sharpe out for the way that he treated Gabriella Zuniga versus the way that he treated his own daughter. People noted that he was paying Miss Zuniga tens of thousands of dollars, which turned into millions, but would only pay a small amount for his own daughter's wedding.
Fucking goofball bitch.
I don't know what you could have. I ain't want to get married.
Oh, come on now, Unc. Why you gonna do your daughter like that now? You paying the white girl?
This nasty ass mayonnaise bitch.
Oh, I don't give a
come on, Unc. Our man Unc was wilding out. And a lot of people ask, what's the difference? Why do you think that Gabriella Zuniga deserves so much more than your own daughter?
Disgusting whore.
People wonder why they don't get the blessing that someone else. Ask yourself.
What?
See, you think you're doing everything right, but see, God know your heart.
You about to lose everything.
Up, but you can't fool that man upstairs.
You about to lose everything.
Why. Ask yourself.
Talking all that tough shit.
Ask yourself when you're alone and you by yourself.
Talking all that tough shit, got your dumb ass clipped easily, nigga.
And other people's
the devil used niggas to get shit free, nigga.
And that's fine, that's all good, but look at what has become of Shannon Sharpe. Not only did he have to pay Zuniga tens of millions of dollars, but it came out yesterday that he has been fired from ESPN. Guys, the amount of money that Shannon Sharpe has lost over this girl is insane. Not only was he paying the $25,000 per cheek here and there, but then the $20+ million to settle the lawsuit. Then he lost the ESPN contract, which was tens of millions of dollars more. This man alone has lost generational wealth for his entire bloodline. And now on top of that, guess what? He's getting sued for another $20 million. And he's gonna pay. Mark my words, Shannon Sharpe is gonna pay off this lawsuit. Now, is he gonna pay the whole $20 million? No. We saw from the Gabriella Zuniga lawsuit that that's not how the game is played. The women ask for a high amount, Shannon Sharpe comes in low, and then they meet somewhere in the middle. Now we have another woman, the opposite of Miss Zuniga. This woman, an older black woman, she's gonna get her slice of the pie too. Let's take a look here and see what is going on. It says here, Shannon Sharpe is being sued for $20 million after the former ESPN star shamed a woman over a viral flirty video with Usher. All right, here is our man Shannon right here.
I don't know why he don't go for freedom of speech.
If we scroll down a little bit, we can see the plaintiff. This is the woman that is suing Shannon Sharpe for the $20 million. All right, the exact opposite of Miss Zuniga. This woman appears to be in her 40s, and of course she's African American. Zuniga, 19 years old and a white woman. But listen, Shannon Sharpe is going to pay out all of these women apparently. All right, if we go back up, it seems that, let's see, the woman claims that Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco, Ocho's on the hook too, knowingly propagated a false narrative about the woman's marital status. It says here that Sharpe, 57, just settled a $50 million lawsuit. He was officially let go of ESPN. In this lady's complaint, it says that on April 2nd, I participated in a fan engagement moment at a Usher Raymond concert where I interacted with the artist as a selected audience member. The interaction quickly went viral after fans noted the intensity between Tillman and Usher in the fun moment. And I think if we scroll up, we can see that moment right there. All right, there is the one and only, the talented Usher Raymond, and there is the plaintiff right there, hot and sweaty, ready to go. I think someone said, auntie, please, okay? And now what's the issue? She's having her moment with the one and only Usher Raymond, so what could have went wrong?
It experience.
We scroll down, the plaintiff says, following the event, the defendants, Ocho Cinco and Shay Shay, made and disseminated false and defamatory statements suggesting that I was married and that my husband was filing for divorce due to my participation in this audience experience. I am not married, nor am I currently going through a divorce. She went on to explain, I was not married at the time of the fan participation moment during the Usher concert. Now on Twitter, guys, a lot of people are saying, come on, lady, now you're asking for $20 million, you don't deserve it, this is a frivolous lawsuit, he didn't defame you, it was all jokes. But is that really the case? Did Shannon Sharpe defame this woman by saying that she was married when she really wasn't, and saying that her husband, who doesn't exist, was going to file divorce papers? To really analyze this, we need to have a little understanding of what defamation is. Here, guys, we can look at the 5 elements of defamation. Elements we can think of as just ingredients. If you have all 5 of these ingredients, all 5 of these factors, then you have defamation. So we're going to go through these quickly, and you tell me, do you think Shannon Sharpe is on the hook? The first element that you need is identity. So you must be able to prove that the statement in question is about you. Now we can see here from the picture that is obvious that this is the lady that they're talking about. So that's an easy element that she can check off. Then we go to the second publication. It says the statement must be published, meaning a third party must have seen, read, or heard about it. Guys, we know this to be true as well. This actually went viral. Millions of people saw Club Shay Shay talking about this lady and what her husband was going to do with these divorce papers. So we have identity here, and we also have the publication. Again, it went viral. Third is negligence. It's the third factor. You must prove the statement was made with a reckless disregard for the truth or negligently. Now, did Shannon Sharpe and Ocho, did they know this lady wasn't married, or did they just not care? Did they research it? Were they kind of being like journalists and fact-checked it? Or did they just recklessly spout out these statements about this lady? You tell me in the comments, do you think that Shannon Sharpe recklessly disregarded whether or not this lady was actually married or not? Before we go any further, let's kind of delve into this negligence a little bit. Let's see what the article says about this whole situation. Now, the lady goes on to say that Shay Shay's and Ocho Cinco's false narratives were shared widely across their platforms, reaching millions of followers. Yes, and I think she tried to refute those false narratives, but you know, their reach is so wide. The woman, who is a global director for the Harold Washington Cultural Center, said she even went on national media shows to refute the allegations from the ESPN First Take star that she was a married woman. All right, what else did the lady say? Ocho Cinco and Club Shay Shay continued to post the defamatory content across their social media platforms. I made numerous efforts to contact the defendants to request the removal of this false narrative, but these requests were disregarded. The single mother added, single mother, okay, I don't know why that was important, but the single mother added that the false statements have caused significant harm to my character and reputation. All right, guys, this is very important. Hold up, let's pause for a second for a quick word from our sponsor, Chapter Medicare. What does this lady need to prove? She needs to prove the identity, that it's her, we got that. She needs to prove the publication, she can do that, it went viral. But the negligence again, she needs to prove that the statement was made with reckless disregard for the truth or negligently. Did Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco make these statements recklessly? Did they disregard the truth? Well, I think they did, right? She's not married. She went on numerous TV shows apparently to try to prove that she wasn't married. She contacted them in numerous ways, according to her, to let them know that she was not married, and they disregarded all of her communications. This lady was pretty serious about trying to clear this up, but it all went to no avail. Now, I can tell you, we can kind of go a little bit deeper in the weeds about whether this lady is famous, whether she's a public figure or not. I'll just tell you pretty quickly that if you're a public figure, it's much harder to win these defamation cases because you're putting yourself out there in public. But the law says that if you're a private figure, then it's much easier to win on these claims. So even though she was pulled up on stage at this Usher event, and even though she went on news media to try to correct the narrative, the law is probably going to consider her a private figure, and that's going to make this a lot easier for her to win. So I think she's got the negligence factor too. The law is going to try to protect her a little bit because she's a private person, and you have Shannon, Sharpe, and Ocho Cinco who have millions and millions of followers and subscribers on their platforms making content about this lady who is not putting herself out there to be ridiculed like this. The fourth element is falsity. She's going to need to prove that the statement that she was married during this time was false. She's going to need to prove that her husband is not filing divorce papers against her. She's going to need to prove that those statements are all false. That's going to be easy for her. She's going to be able to testify that she's not married, and then Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco are not going to be able to produce a marriage certificate showing that she was married at the time of the event. The last element is harm, all right? She's going to need to prove that the statement caused material or reputational injury. Now, again, this is going to kind of depend on whether she's considered a public figure or a private figure. Not to get too deep into it, but if she's considered a private figure, it's going to be easier for her to prove damages. We're going to continue to read the article, but what do you guys think right here? Has she shown identity, that the statement was about her? Has she shown that the statement was published? Has she shown that the statement was made in a reckless disregard for the truth? Has she shown that the statement was false? Can she show that? And can she show that the statement caused material or reputational harm? For this last one, it's still a little up in the air. Let's see what the article says. This lady continues that the ongoing misinformation has resulted in emotional distress for the plaintiff, damaging her reputation and adversely affecting her personal and professional relationships. Now, guys, I know when we hear all emotional distress, we think, oh, forget it, it's all made up. But if this lady is a professional, I think she was the director at some center, and people are saying, hey, that's the lady that was up there with Usher. Did you know she's married? Did you know her husband is looking at filing a divorce? Her husband was so mad. How do you know her husband was mad? Well, that's what Club Shay Shay said. That's what Ocho Cinco said. She was up there dancing and looking deep into Usher's eyes. Can you believe this, Helpful? I absolutely believe that there could have been a lot of whisperings behind her back from people who tangentially knew her but didn't know if she was married or not. This actually could have hurt her reputation, guys. The article continues that the woman is a Chicago native whose previously homeschooled daughter received her doctorate while still... What? Her daughter received a doctorate while still a teenager, and she taught her daughter, all right? This is a very important fact. Guys, this has nothing to do with the actual defamation case, but it shows you that this lady here is serious. Despite what we are seeing on the screen, and this lady's about 3 inches from Usher's face, this lady homeschooled her daughter, and while her daughter was in high school, her daughter earned a doctorate degree. That lets you know that this daughter has some serious intellectual genes, and some of those surely belong to the mom, who again is some director of some center. The mom took it upon herself to homeschool the daughter, didn't let the daughter go to public or private school, brought the daughter up herself. What does that mean? To me, as an attorney, this means that this lady is not going away. Despite what we might think, this lady is not one of those my neck, my back, my neck and my back type of plaintiffs. Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco are dealing with a very serious person. This is not a game. Again, this has nothing to do with the actual defamation case, but I'll tell you as a little tip that attorneys were always sizing up the plaintiffs. Is this person for real or not? Is this person educated or not? Is this person serious or not? Can we blow them off? Can we ignore them? This lady apparently is not to be ignored. She has the capability to really go hard on this case. All right, so the article continues that the U.S. Sun has reached out to Shannon Sharpe's attorneys for comment. In a conversation with the U.S. Sun, Tillman added, "We've been in communication with the legal team of Shay Media, who was also representing Shannon Sharpe. All right, so now the woman is talking to Shannon Sharpe's legal team. The woman says that they're looking to resolve this matter quickly, and we will probably have more to share upon our next conversation. Guys, this sentence right here tells you all that you need to know. If this is true, this lady's saying that Shannon Sharpe's legal team is looking to resolve this matter quickly. Does that remind us of anything? Is that similar to another lawsuit that we heard about just a few months ago? I don't know if you guys remember, but when Shannon Sharpe was hit with this $50 million lawsuit, his attorney came to social media and said, we didn't even know she was filing this. We were trying to get this resolved quickly under the table without anybody knowing. We had offered Gabriella Zuniga over $10 million to settle. We were in active negotiations and they just went and filed this. This has taken us by complete surprise. So we already see that Shannon Sharpe was trying to resolve that Gabriella Zuniga case quickly and under the table. And now Tillman is saying they're trying to do the same thing with this case. Why are they trying to resolve it? Again, if we look at the factors, this lady may have a really strong case. She can prove that the statement was about her. She can prove that the statement was published. She can prove probably that the statement was made in reckless disregard of the truth because she's not married, and I don't think that Shannon or Ocho really investigated to see if she was married or not. She can prove that the statement was false, and she can prove damages, I believe. She can prove some reputational injury because it's going to be easier for her to prove these things since the law is going to consider her to be a private person. Guys, the law is pretty clear that when you're a private person, people can't really play with your name like that. We can sit back and say, oh, Ocho Cinco and Shay, they were just joking, and they weren't. But the law says, hey, you need to be careful when you joke on private people's names. If you want to joke on somebody famous, if you want to go at Monique or you want to go at one of these celebrities, fine. They've got big platforms. They can defend themselves. But these private people, they don't have an audience. So when you spread a rumor like this, it can really affect them because it's so hard for them to refute it. This lady may be able to prove, as she said, that she tried to contact Shannon Sharpe's team numerous times to get them to take down the clips. They would not do it. She wanted them to take down the entire episode. They would not do it. She wanted them to issue a retraction. They would not do it. They disregarded all of her communications. Now, maybe they didn't get them. Maybe she was sending emails to an inbox that was never checked. We're going to have to kind of figure out the details on this. But it seems like Shannon Sharpe saying, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and settle with you. We're talking to your team. We want this quickly. I've already lost the ESPN deal. I've already got hit for $20 million with Gabriella. Let's just settle this for a small amount. And it's my belief that that's what's going to happen. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco should have to pay this lady any money? Were they just joking? Or do you think, hey, you shouldn't be able to joke like this on regular people's names if they're not asking for it? What do you think? Let me know. If you were the judge in this case, would you order Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco to pay any money? And if so, how much would you order to pay them? Put your answers
I would say fuck no, but at the same time, maybe a little bit, but it sounds stupid. I wouldn't get that white bitch a damn penny. That bitch got sent to the dungeon, ho.
Alright, we back. So, like I said, bro, the Defamation, man, I feel like she do got a case. At the same time, bro, it's free game. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself outlined to be a slut. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like she saw that Shannon Sharpe was already got that lawsuit, which I heard this might have been before the lawsuit, but you know what I'm saying? And she said, fuck it, I might as well get a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Shannon Sharpe, he talks so much shit about the black woman, which is crazy that they want to be treated like a slave to the white woman. Isn't this is ridiculous? We live in backward times. But it's like, damn, you get all this generational wealth just to lose and get to the other race is insane, bro. But this just goes to show you, man, people who do this stupid shit get stupid prizes. And we out this bitch. Hood and outside. Big crippin' gang outside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.